Today's special Super Bowl props episode of the BS Podcast brought to you by our presenting sponsor, SeatGeek. It's Super Bowl week. Buying tickets are a big and complicated investment. Our friends at SeatGeek are here to help, Sal. They're committed to helping you find the best seats at the best prices, fully guaranteed, with their revolutionary grading system and a team of ticket concierge experts that are a phone call away from free advice. Download the SeatGeek app today. Get your tickets to see my beloved Patriots take on the Falcons in Houston, or check out their Super Bowl tracker on SeatGeek.com. We're also brought to you by the Ringer NFL Show. We're basically going daily this week leading into Super Bowl weekend, hosted by Robert Mays, Kevin Clark, Dana Kelly, and even new Ringer free agent edition, Mike Lombardi.
Nice.
You're officially a ringer. A ringer.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sal.
Round of applause.
Sit down, everybody, please.
Thank you.
Subscribe on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play, wherever else. It's also going to be the home of Lombardi's football podcast whenever we decide what that is and who's on it. But that's the Ringer NFL Show, podcast, football. All right. Time for my favorite podcast of the year. Let's roll. All right. Cousin Sal is here.
I am.
Mike Lombardi is here. The Ringer's Mike Lombardi.
I'm
it's
excited to be here. Yeah, although I don't understand anything about the prop bets. Just let me get that out of the way.
You're a conciliary. You're like Vito in the last 40 minutes of Godfather.
This sickens me. I don't understand. How did you not become a degenerate gambler?
I know, he's
Mike?
Italian.
I don't
loves
understand it either.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You've
And
been in
all
this
my friends
business-
are degenerate gamblers either.
You've been in this business 75 years. You should be able to tell us how to win money.
The Italian side of you, I don't understand. I'm
I
so
don't know.
disappointed.
It is disappointing.
He just went for more Goodfellas reruns,
All right.
and that was it.
Well, Bill said, should we bring Lombardi in? I was like, yes.
Make all caps, exclamation point.
Make him drive in. He's on the payroll now.
That's right.
Sal, this is
follow you
Christmas. This is Christmas for Sal.
Is it really?
This really is.
I don't know if this is the
Is the official Christmas?
This is the best podcast out there right now. I mean, but it is the most important. It's the most
Right,
important.
yeah.
Mark Maron, Ted Radio. They're not going to make you $1 million this weekend. We
Right.
are. We're going to do that right now.
Right.
Well, here we go.
We've had a pretty decent success rate with the Super Bowl props over the years. Now, before we dive into the props, the line has stayed at 3.
Stayed at 3. Yeah.
The over-under has remained at...
59.
That's too high.
Highest in Super Bowl history.
Just got
Really?
Saints Colts was second at 56.5, I think, and that went over. Did that go over? There was a lot of points there, right?
gut take, Lombardi. Is that line too high? 59 points.
I 34-24. I think that's about right. I think the score's
Okay.
going to be 34-24 Patriots.
Wow, he's giving his pick already. You have a whole
Wow.
week to do this.
Well, but I had to
It's
add it
not-
up.
we got to learn.
Welcome
We got
to
to teach
show
this
business.
guy.
Sal, I had to add it up. I mean, I had to add up the two numbers.
You
I
wanna
needed
tell
to
us who's
say-
gonna win next
It's like
year,
the
too?
alphabet. I got to start with A to go to figure out what follows.
Don't say you have A winning, though. That's all right.
So
Okay.
right around 59 in Lombardi's take. I think it goes lower.
I think you're asking for trouble betting the
Stay away.
under,
Stay
right?
away.
But
the under is the
it
least
might
fun
go
bet in
under.
football.
Yeah, it's not fun.
It's you're rooting for things not to happen, basically. It's
Well,
like the don't come line in
My
poker.
experience is usually some of these when two teams with high octane offenses play, somebody's defense ends up playing better than expected, and that's what I think will happen in the game.
But you think that's going to be the New England Patriots defense?
I actually do.
Someone tweeted me this. I don't know if it's true, but you guys would probably remember. In the Brady Super Bowl games, the 6 Brady Super Bowl games in the first quarter, the end of the score at the end of the first quarter, 3-0, 0-0, 0-0, 3-0, 9-0, 0-0. Is that possible?
Well, yeah, because when you have 2 weeks to prepare, typically, usually that first quarter is really about
Tight.
trying to figure out what everybody else is doing. So it's a little bit like the first round of a boxing match or
Right.
first 2 rounds. It's like you're trying to figure out how they want to play the game, and then once you can do that, and then once you declare how you want to play the game, the style, the fronts, everything, then everything goes, and then you start to get into your rhythm. Because all
Don't
the
forget
game
about
plans,
nerves.
Yeah, I think that plays a part.
I always
too.
felt like the first quarter is just you have guys that if they're ever going to be nervous playing a football game, it'll be the first 10 minutes of this game.
But it's not going to be Brady being
No, it won't
nervous.
be
He's not
Brady.
going to throw a pick.
Could be Matt Ryan.
It could be. It could
Maybe.
be.
Who knows?
Yeah.
What's the biggest college game Matt Ryan ever played in?
Oh.
I don't know. I mean,
ACC championship.
all right, there Tate
Look at you.
ACC championship.
He was in that
Tate says.
BC when he threw that Hail Mary pass on BC, right? No, that was another guy.
Wrong BC
Okay.
guy.
So before we hit the props, Lombardi sent me this the stat that's really interesting. The Falcons are one of the top 5 highest scoring teams ever.
Right.
Have you seen this?
Mm-hmm.
The Broncos got killed in the Super Bowl. The 07 Pats lost. The 83 Redskins got killed.
These are other top scoring.
And the 67 Raiders lost to Green Bay. And now here are the Falcons. So we have the highest scoring offenses are 0-4 with the Falcons as a question mark.
Right.
Heading into this, I don't know what to make of that.
Well, I think a lot of it is that, you look at what the offense does. You have more time to prepare. You don't have that short week, and then you can defend the things they do well and force them to play left-handed, which is something that the Patriots always do. And the Patriots will have the ability to. The Falcons have the same ability with with when they play them. So,
Right.
I think that's why it's always going to be a lot less scoring than most people think. People think it's just going to be high octane. I don't. I think it'll be a pace of a game. And I think the way the Patriots win or the way the Falcons win is to control the pace. It's like a basketball game.
Right.
The game gets too explosive, maybe you can't win it. But if the game plays a certain style, you can win it. I think that's for both teams.
Lombardi said it's going to be a lot less lower scoring than he said 58 points, and they're going to be Vegas expects 59. So he says way under
58 or under.
Well,
that's it.
I mean, if you want to, I think that's right.
Yeah.
Because I think there's always that, you got to put one thing about this game, why everybody likes the over, is because there's no lead safe.
Right.
So you're always, even if you're up by 10 or you're up by 14, you're going to keep trying to score. I mean, the Patriots will keep trying to score until the clock becomes their opponent.
How do you think Sal's going to control the pace of his eating during the Super Bowl? Because I've seen him in action. You like to
There are a bunch of props on that. Yeah.
You like to go early first quarter, but then like a pre-halftime, right before everybody lines up for food, you'll go back, and then you'll sneak back in
Right.
for the sample early fourth quarter.
I think we're cooking up a pig or something. We're going all out this
Okay.
year. But they're finger foods because I'm constantly I'll grab 3 mini hot dogs between each play. What is it, 40 seconds?
Right.
When they dropped the play clock, I lost weight.
I'm not coming this year.
You're not doing it?
Not coming.
What happened? Why? What
My
now?
dad's going to be here,
Oh,
and he wants
bring
to
him.
watch the game at my house, and he's nervous, and he really wants a 5th Super Bowl, and he really took Deflategate personally, as did everyone in New England.
Yeah.
And he's really focused. I haven't seen him this focused in a while.
I appreciate the dad excuse, but there is no doubt in my mind that your
There's
daughter
a soccer
has
game? No, it's actually in the morning.
There's no
It's in the morning.
question.
I got plenty of time to recover from the soccer game.
All right. I'm going to have you followed.
The props. Let's do it.
Well, should we start with the ones that you can't bet in Vegas but are fun, like the?
Yeah, let's do
okay.
dumb and happy first.
Okay, so Luke Bryan to sing national anthem, 2 minutes 9 seconds is the over under. He's on YouTube at 1:59, the 2012 All-Star game. You have to don't laugh. You have to do research here,
Yeah,
Mike.
he does.
Otherwise, you'll lose a lot of money before the
Having
game
trouble
even
figuring out who Luke
starts.
Bryan is. Forget about how long
Was it a
takes him to
fast
sing.
159, or did it seem like he was on pace?
Well, I think he kind of took his time, but you have to think that he's going to add 10, 15 seconds at least
Yeah.
for the Super Bowl. He's
Milk
gonna
the
flex his
ovation,
muscles
yeah.
a little
Yeah.
bit. There's going to be a little more of a crowd. He's
Right.
going to have to compete with. They'll see he's going to time it so when the Jets come overhead.
So
I
you like
it.
the over parlayed with
The Jets
Lombardi
come
not knowing
overhead?
who Luke Bryan is?
Yes, the fighter Jets.
The last time I was in Houston for the Super Bowl, Beyonce sung it was the greatest national anthem I ever heard sung. But I thought the roof was closed.
Yeah.
He's got a tough actor. He's got a tough actor.
Oh, right. We need to figure that out.
That
Yeah.
was crazy about the Houston, the Pats, Carolina, is not having any idea what happened with Nipplegate.
Yeah.
Because it was pre-Twitter, and it was like the cell phone reception was terrible.
Right.
And, the game ends, and we're like, oh, my God, we did it again, Vinatieri. And then you leave, and everybody's just talking about Janet Jackson's nipple.
yeah.
It's like, what? My team just won the Super Bowl. What happened?
Right.
The lady sitting next to my wife and I, we were in the end zone seats in the back watching the game, and as soon as it happened, she's like, "Oh my God, her nipple came out!" Like I don't
Yeah.
know how she could have saw it. Like she'd have been a hell of a spy or an ex-scout.
Great eyesight.
Tremendous. I never saw anything. I was still mesmerized by Beyonce's. I call her
Bernice?
Bernice's.
I always
This is great.
No, I always call her Bernice.
1930s
It's a-
Beyonce.
I love it.
It's a joke in my house. I always call her Bernice.
I might have a rival for mispronunciations now.
Simmons and I were at the blackout game, right?
Yes.
And that
In
and
New
I remember
Orleans.
everyone was worried. Everyone's texting their loved ones. Who knew? They didn't know if it was a terrorist attack or what. And I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to bet the game live in the
Yeah.
third quarter. I'm like, damn it, I'm going to run out of juice on my phone. I don't care about the family. They'll figure it out on their own.
That was when I pulled off the best prank of my life, and Sal was so jealous of it.
What was
the
it?
CEO of Twitter was
Oh,
in the
right,
box, and I'm looking at my phone, and I go, God, what happened to Twitter? It's down. And he had the most panicked look on his face. And he's like grabbing his phone, and of course it's working. You were so proud
He
of me.
leapt off the,
it was like you had
luxury
trained me for that moment
That
for
was
10
good.
solid years.
God bless you. That was
All right,
great.
more props.
All right, let's do more. Will any player, Falcon or Patriots roster be seen kneeling during the national anthem?
Ooh.
No, -200. Yes, +150.
Oh, I would say
I'm
yes.
all in on no.
You're in on no.
Yeah.
Not on the Pats
No
sideline.
Pats will be doing it.
We would have heard of it by now.
Oh, they would have done it. I mean, now to do it now, you look like you're just doing it for the
Right.
The
moment.
attention.
Yeah,
Right.
Exactly. What if one of them drops their Bible and it just goes to pick it up and they're accidentally kneeling?
That's always a possibility.
All right,
There's
see,
not a
that's
lot
what-
of Bibles on the sideline. Though,
Oh,
so.
really?
No.
See, I don't know. These are the things we need to know. I'm glad he's here. I thought there were a lot. Okay, who will Donald Trump pick to win the game? He's being interviewed. This is true.
Is that true?
1 to 10 odds. He takes the Patriots.
Tate's laughing his ass
What's
off.
so funny, Tate?
Tony, he's laughing that Donald Trump's the president. He just found out. So they're interviewing Trump before the game?
They do it when every president gets interviewed. He agreed. He's not a very
this
public
is
man.
unbelievable.
He agreed to an
How'd they get
interview.
him?
Just this one time.
That's like
And,
a gimme putt, though. He's going to pick
it's
the Patriots, right?
I
He's
mean,
going to pick the Patriots.
I guess you could lose if he doesn't pick anyone, but if he picks anyone, it'll be
No,
the
he'll pick the Patriots. That bet shouldn't even be a bet.
Yeah,
and,
I got
and
it.
plus Trump would probably bet it.
Yeah, you're right.
They'd be like, what are the odds?
He can
They
really
make $2,000.
cut into the deficit here. There's also 5 to 2 odds that President Trump bans brown footballs from appearing in the game.
Brown footballs.
Yeah, that's
You
not true.
made that up. We
I
caught
might
you.
have made that up. All right.
Wet footballs.
Matty Ice, over under 2 mentions of Matty Ice during the game. Can we put that nickname to
Well,
rest?
you know why he's Matty Ice, right?
Why? I don't get that.
So in college, he used to drink natural ice,
Oh,
which
is
is
that
called
what it
Natty
was?
Ice. And they started calling him Matty
Natty
Ice because
Ice.
Natty Ice was his beer. And now it's morphed into this whole different story that, he's
Like
he's
he's
so
comeback
cool, he's
player,
Matty Ice.
yeah.
It's like Joe Montana.
I would want a
he
better
just likes
nickname.
bad beer.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want a better nickname?
Yeah, you would think so.
And Kenny Stabler, one of the most effeminate
Snake.
quarterbacks, was named the Snake.
Right.
Come on, let's get a new nickname. All right. Giselle Bundchen, how many times will she be shown on the telecast? 1.5 is the over/under.
Well, if they win, I would say at least
Yeah.
2.
Oh, afterwards, yeah. But
Right,
during
so-
the game, don't they show?
Oh, during the game. Oh,
Yeah.
I would say 1.
That's a hard one.
Yeah,
They have it right.
it's tough. Low profile.
15 to 1 odds. President Trump signs an executive order declaring Giselle his wife during halftime.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good.
could you do it for 12 hours before it gets overturned?
Well, everyone's not paying
She's got an
attention.
ACL.
That's the way to do it. Will the word lacrosse be said on TV during the live
No question.
broadcast?
Lock that down.
Yes?
Lock it down.
1 to 3. It's
Joe
minus
Buck.
300.
Joe Buck knows about this now though, right?
Yeah, they
I heard he
almost
did a
know.
podcast today, and he found out that was a bet, and he was laughing about it.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
If Hogan does something, they got to tell the
that's all
backstory
right.
to Hogan.
Right. I mean, but it has to be during the game. It doesn't have to be for the 12-hour pregame
During the
show.
game, right,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I have a
Fair
great Hogan prop that I love for later.
Yeah, there's a lot on him. All right, I'll get through these. Okay, now this is one I think Mike could help us on because he knows the inside info. If the Patriots win, will Brady, Belichick, or Kraft be seen shaking Roger Goodell's hand on TV?
All 3.
All 3 yes.
All 3 yes.
Really?
It's the ultimate FU.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes
you
is
do
minus
it.
180.
You shake his hand and you look him
Because
in the
the
eye.
story continues if you don't.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you do it.
The best way to say FU is to win.
You win and you
Right.
shake
And
his
then
hand.
they kill
But
the
they'll
story.
already have won. They could say it
But
in all
they kill
different
the
ways.
story. The story ends.
Yeah.
No, the story's going to keep going because when Kraft takes the mic,
Right.
it's going to be incredible.
It will?
Oh, he will have a pre-prepared barb ready to go that he will screw up as he's saying it.
I love it.
But he will have one, I promise
There is a
you.
Kraft prop. Which number is bigger, Patriots first downs or the age of Robert Kraft's girlfriend?
So it would be around 25 first downs for the
19 and
Pats.
a half.
The girlfriend's older.
She
Yeah,
is?
she's
I
late
would say
20s.
that's an easy bet. I'd go.
Well, she has
Yeah.
fake
That's a
ID.
lot of fun.
I don't know if that's.
I would change that bet to the over/under of the first Pats touchdowns uniform number.
Oh.
It's an over/under her age.
I see.
First downs
Would
is
be
a
good.
misleading
Yeah,
stat
everyone-
too.
yeah.
Because like if you make a lot of big plays, you only get one first down for like a 40-yard play. Like they're only good if you're the Kansas City Chiefs offense, where it takes you 3 downs
I
to get a
got you.
first down. You know.
I love
Mike's least
that.
favorite offense is the Kansas City 3 downs to get a first down
I hate
offense.
that
He hates
offense.
I
it
like
so
that
much.
Mike's taking this ridiculous prop seriously.
He's doing exactly. He's
Robert
been
Kraft
You told me
amazing
you
so
wanted me to
far.
break it down. I'm breaking it down.
No, that's good. I like it.
Phenomenal job by Mike.
Yellow is the favorite for the Gatorade color. Plus 225. I don't remember yellow that much.
Do you have red?
Sure.
Red has kind of been a
4 to
power color
1.
lately. I like red. A lot of dresses in red lately. My wife's been on it. She's saying it's a big power
Really?
power color.
Power color for
Power
the Super Bowl.
sexy color. Man, that's same
All
for
right.
Gatorade.
Clear is 3-1. I don't know. Maybe you trump the yellow liquid.
Did Belichick tell them enough with the Gatorade showers? I don't even think they did one after the AFC
No,
title
I didn't
game.
see one. I don't remember seeing one. They did one
didn't
after
see
the last Super Bowl. I'm sure they'll do one after the Super Bowl if they win. If they win, I remember. Didn't they do it in? I thought we did
I
in
don't think they did
Arizona.
one.
I was at a frenzy. Still wasn't sure.
Do they have
Interesting.
over under beers? Jamie Collins is going to drink during the game with his friends. As he
They don't
watches
have that
Kyle
yet.
Van Noy and all these random
I'm
people.
sure he's going to buy all the beer he can. He's got enough money now.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think-
26 million guaranteed.
Really?
Yeah.
That was the problem all
To stay in
along. He just
Cleveland.
didn't have the money.
No, he didn't.
He's getting
Now his
high-
money's better.
College guys buying it for him. Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Now, Edge of Glory was 8-1 to be her first song.
Yeah.
Now it's down to -140. So
Oh, that
there's
sounds
a
like
leak.
inside info.
There's a leak there. So
Now,
stay
in
away
my
from
mailbag on Friday, a Pats fan theorized that she's going to sing Telephone and put a Brady jersey on.
I read that.
that.
Yeah.
Oh,
And break the telephone during the
Oh, that's
performance. I
That'd
could
be
see her
funny.
doing it. That would be fun to bet on. I would say that's probably like plus 300 that
Is
she
there a
does it.
prop bet that Tony Bennett's going to sing with her?
no, that's a good one. That should be up there.
You have inside info?
No, I was just asking. I just
Let him dream. No, but it does say, Tony Bennett and
trying to get more Italians on the stage. That's all.
Tony Bennett and Bernice will be performing a duet.
That's the truth. You ask my sons. That's what I call her all the time.
Now, you're so in my dad's corner right now.
Will both teams?
My dad has not called Martellus Bennett the correct name for 4.5 months.
Which will be longer on Sunday? Total running time of Luke Bryan's version of the national anthem, or total time we see Claire Danes lip quivering in the new episode of Homeland?
Oh, I thought.
Oh, you're the only one watching Homeland anymore.
I watch it.
I'm
No,
like-
I'm in. I'm in.
Oh, you are?
Okay,
I'm in.
there-
I'm doing like
there you go.
6 other things while I'm watching, but
Yeah.
I feel like it's
You don't have
it's
to
the
pay
one
attention.
show.
Yeah, you
no,
can-
you do though. I don't know what's going on.
It's a 6-screen experience. You can have
Is
5
it?
other screens going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty easy. It's not like it's so
easy?
far below what it's been that it's easy, and it's moving at a snail's pace.
Right. So I'm just waiting it
Like,
out. I know.
I was done when for like the 3rd straight season they pretended that Claire Danes was just this wily sex pot that no man could resist, no matter how bad it might be for their career.
Well,
I'm
the
like, I'm
great
out.
one,
I'm
the
just
great one
out.
last
Blind.
night was, and this spoiler alert here, was that she actually did something that caused harm to somebody else because she didn't listen to the rules.
Right.
Which, how many
Yeah.
times are we going to follow that?
I
plot
she
line?
takes matters into her own hand.
Yes,
That's
I
what
mean,
they
you know,
do.
and people are surprised when she does it.
Next season
Right.
she's gonna get hired by Roger Goodell.
All right, I think the answer is no to all these. 76 or more points combined to break the Super Bowl record. Yes is 11-2. It's 5.
The record's 76.
76, yeah.
Who did that?
Who was 76?
76. That's a lot.
There was a 55-21
Is that
in
30
there, right? Wasn't that?
Oh, that must have been
is
the
that Niners?
Denver, San Francisco.
Right, okay.
Yeah, the one I think in the Superdome.
What was your
Yeah.
Jackie Smith game?
How about the San Diego?
35-31.
Yeah.
How about the San Diego Denver one?
49-21 or something?
Yeah, I
Was
mean that was.
Oh,
a-
that
was a blowout,
There was a
too.
49-24. It must have been the Steve.
Is that what it
Oh no,
was?
49-26. That's what it was. The Steve Young Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Freaking Stan Humphries.
Block punt, yes, is 6-1. Nah. Missed extra point, yes, 3-1.
So that one's interesting because Stevie
Yeah.
G has missed I think 4 or
Nervous.
5 this year,
Yeah, and
and
Matt
I'm nervous
Bryan-
every time he kicks them.
But
Indoors
it's
though in
indoors,
Houston.
although this turf is kind of a weird turf too. It's not like I know that George
What is
Toma
it?
came in and put the
Yeah.
new sod in, so it's going to be hard to see. But there should be no wind or anything like that. It should be an easy field goal, an extra point.
Really?
Yeah,
All
you
right.
would think.
All right, now we're on to the ones you could actually
Wait,
bet
hold
in
on.
Vegas.
We
Oh, you
gotta
have a
talk
read.
about
Okay,
yeah.
go ahead.
I mean, Valentine's Day is coming up fast, so stop procrastinating. Secure your gift for your loved one right now. You have a loved one.
I do.
Your-
I hope
your
I have-
longtime wife, Melissa.
I have money for her, I hope, by the
After
end
this,
of this.
you can get her gorgeous flowers from Books. Books delivers to all 50 states, and they even offer free delivery on weekdays when you register at Books.com, BOUQS.com. Books pricing is transparent, meaning no gimmicks, no hidden fees. What you see is what you get, and they offer a wide array of farm-to-table and artisan flower bouquets at an accessible price. And because they cut their flowers fresh, they last longer, so your dollar goes further. They even have convenient subscriptions. You'll like this, Sal, like Never Forget, which provides regular reminders of special occasions like birthdays and anniversaries, or the Just Because subscription, which delivers randomized surprise bouquets to your special someone a certain number of times a year, like Tate.
Right.
Tate's become a special someone.
Is that right?
Save 20% on your Valentine's Day bouquet when you order early. Don't wait. Go to Books.com. Get 20% off your order using offer code BILL. That's my name. That's BOUQS.com. Offer code Bill. Back to the props.
That's
These
how
are
you
the big
spell
ones.
Bill? B-O-U-Q.
Yeah, B-I-L-L. Magic Johnson used to spell B-E-W-L.
B what?
He's calling me B-U.
Oh, nice.
And I used to love it. And the way he said my name was like the way I've wanted somebody to say it my whole life. I just loved it. So Jacoby started calling me it. So I loved it so much. Now Jacoby still calls me B-U.
Is Magic your special someone? You should buy him flowers.
I'm going to send him some books.
You should. Why not?
There you go.
All right. So now here's one. Will either team score in the first 6.5 minutes of the game? We went over Brady's first quarters.
So 6.5 minutes means the team that gets the ball first has to at least
Right.
get a field goal.
I guess so, yeah. I guess at 4.5 minutes you could punt or something.
And then that's a fast
Seattle
touchdown
took a
coming
long
back.
drive.
Right.
Seattle took a long drive to score. Look, these two teams are the highest scoring first quarter teams, first point differential, first
Right.
quarter differential in the NFL. So you'd have to believe one of them is going to score early in the first possession.
Even as tight as we think they might play it, it's tough. It's
And
tough.
Lombardi believes that Belichick is going to prioritize
it's
jumping out to a lead. Does that mean he would not defer with the coin toss in the first
Yeah,
half?
the first time he didn't do it was against Pittsburgh because I think he wanted to set the pace of the game, and
Yeah.
I think this would be another similar game.
So the
only
Pats
thing I would
getting the ball
hesitate
could
on
be a good
that.
one.
The only thing I would hesitate on that is typically Atlanta's. If you look at Matt Ryan in the 2 minute, his average per completion in 2 minute is low at 5.6.
Yeah.
So, and reason for that is because where do they make most of their explosive plays? Play action pass, throw the ball down the field. In 2 minute, you can't run those plays.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's more checkdowns and all. Even though they scored against Green Bay in the 2 minute drill, they're not a built for 2 minute drill type of team the way teams play it. So they don't have their play action passes. So
Gotcha.
They only scored because Green Bay didn't tackle the receivers. I'm
Right.
waiting for somebody to do it.
and my
Really?
point on
You tackle
and my
all the
point on
receivers at the end of the third
and
down.
my
and
point
get
on
it.
that, if Belichick were to defer, he would know that they're not great in the 2 minute, and
Which helps the Pats.
which helps the Pats, and I would get the ball twice with them sitting on the bench, which is a great defense. I get the ball twice at the end of the half and to start the second half, and maybe I could make up a point differential. This is the theory. This all started because of Peyton Manning. The best way to defend Peyton Manning was to have the ball when he couldn't do anything with it. That's why the deferring started. And I think that that would be the other alternative.
You said something interesting with being physical and tackle the receivers, and that makes all the difference.
Yes.
And I think it would make more of a difference if the weather were a factor. What's the spread if this game is in Giant Stadium, like Manning had to go through against Seattle? Is
This is the best case for it's the best case for the Falcons
Atlanta.
because
Yeah,
this
no
is
doubt.
the 2009 Saints blueprint.
Right.
Got to stay indoors the whole time. Never
Yeah.
had to
Right.
battle the elements.
And then they played in Miami and they had the rain, but I mean, for the most part, that was a great weather stadium for them. Yeah, this is perfect for Atlanta.
I will
Yeah.
say though, they can run the ball.
Right.
And if they were outdoors, I'm sure they would change what they were doing. But it's not the same. They're not as fast. if
Actually,
they're
they actually
outdoors.
played better on the road this year. They're 6-2. I think they were 6-2 on the road. They lost, so they were worse at home than they were on the road.
Atlanta this
Yeah.
year. Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
they lost 3 home games this year.
And they had a couple of the losses that they gave up. Mike was showing me some of the numbers. Like they gave up big offensive days. To how many first downs did Kansas City have? Like 32 or something.
Yeah, Kansas City. I mean, and the yardage, like the teams that beat them always outgained them not always outgained them in cumulative effect of the yards. So to beat them, you have to have a good offense.
You guys have been talking. I could tell he's trying to make you feel good about a lot of these things, right?
I just looking at the numbers, Sal. I don't
My
hedge the
guard's up.
numbers.
Okay.
My
All
guard's
Just
up.
the numbers.
My guard's always up. Super Bowls.
All right, here's something I like. I like this. Now it's a heavy vig. It's yes is minus 250. Will either team score in the final 2 minutes of the first half? 6 of the last 8 Super Bowls, the answer's been yes.
Yep.
The Pats' last 4 games, there's been a score in the final 2 minutes. Atlanta's last 3, there's been a score in the final 2 minutes.
So there's a couple that I really like that play off this.
Go ahead.
I think the Pats have just for the entire Belichick Brady era, once they got going, second quarter has been a great quarter for them.
Right.
I don't know why. I don't know whether it's just the way the game flow, the game, whatever. Pats second quarter TD is I think
Minus 300.
Minus
I
300.
had that circled too.
And then I thought there was one more. Will the Pats? Will Brady throw a touchdown in the second quarter? I think was
Yeah.
one of them. There's a couple second quarter bets. And I don't know. They're really good in second quarters. It's been a
Right.
Belichick tradition.
And I think these good games are always decided in the last 4 minutes of both halves. And I think that to enhance that bet, I would say somebody's going to score in the last 4 minutes of which will basically be the last 2 minutes.
What about this? Which number will be higher, the total number of first half points scored by the Patriots or number of Houston area strippers on Gronk's party bus? The It's a push. I don't know.
I just want Gronk to behave himself. I think if we win the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
I really think Belichick. That's just how he rolls, man. Thanks for the memories, Gronk.
No.
You're heading to San Diego.
Really?
Yeah. That's how he rolls. He's done it for 2 decades.
Wow.
The only
Doesn't
problem
pay
with
for
that,
past performance.
The only problem with that is he wants a new contract.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's hard to ask for a new contract when you've been hurt.
Mm-hmm.
He's always wants a new contract. So to trade a guy that wants a new contract, that's always very difficult. Like, that's what happened with Martellus Bennett.
Yep.
He wanted a new contract. We took him at the Patriots saying, who cares if he wants a new contract? Football players play football. We traded for him anyway. Then you control the trade. This is a little bit more difficult.
And the other thing with Martellus Bennett,
Yeah.
I think the most excited Patriots for this whole run are him and Deion Lewis.
Yeah.
Like, if you read or watch the Bennett interviews, the quotes, anything, this is like the greatest 4 months of his life. And Deion Lewis, who only had, I think, 11 yards in the AFC title game, was sobbing in joy in front of his locker. Like, so I think they have a chance to bring back Bennett for a discount.
They
I think he
can,
loves
but
being on the
he's
team.
been a bit of a disappointment.
Well, he's been hurt.
Yeah, I know. But
He had what was his injury? He had like a fractured.
He's got had a bad knee, then he had the ankle. But why would you say he's a disappointment?
Well, on my day, you just played through that, Mike. That's,
But why
that's how I
was
did
he
it.
a
He's been a
disappointment?
very good blocker.
What do you mean? Everyone said when the two of them are out
Don't
there.
listen to
it's like-
everyone. Listen to us.
Wait a minute. Everybody says when they
What
lose
was her
Gronk,
numbers? What-
when they
what-
lose Gronk, they fall down the tubes.
Yeah.
They're undefeated without Gronk.
But not,
Yeah.
no thanks to Bennett, I don't
Why
think.
not?
No,
He's
really?
been a defender.
I gotta say-
You're a numbers guy. Where are his numbers? What did he do?
Well, I don't think it's the pass catching as much as the run blocking.
Is it?
Plus
Okay.
the threat vertically down the field when they spread you out, and he's on the field. He can catch seam routes. I mean, it becomes a problem if you've got Matt Lengel in there or you've got Cam Fleming playing
Mm-hmm.
tight end. There's no threat.
And he's
So-
definitely
all right.
definitely been playing hurt, so I think he won
Okay.
over the respect.
All right, how
what
about
else?
this? Shortest touchdown of the game, over unders 1.5
I
yards.
wrote this one down.
You like under.
Yes.
Yeah.
The 1 yard touchdown is a Blunt Brady specialty. One of them's going to get it.
What do you think, Mike? So many pass interference calls these days in the end zone.
I would say that's a good obvious.
Why?
That was one of my favorite ones.
All right, it's only hit 6 of the last 10 Super Bowls the under, but I do like that a lot. Let's see. Well, the Patriots scored a touchdown. We touched second quarter.
You know,
like
I
that.
was thinking about that 1 yard touchdown with the first guy to score a touchdown bet,
Yes.
which I think the Patriots, if they scored 1st, are the toughest team to predict in a while because, like, literally anyone on the roster could catch the touchdown and be like, oh, Devlin caught it. Like,
right.
so you would think, like, oh, Blunt's got it. But Brady will throw it to anybody. He
Could be
doesn't care.
Nate Solder like the play
Yeah.
against Indianapolis.
Let me just
Right.
say this: 6 of the last 8 Super Bowls, the first touchdown has gone to a wide receiver. I think Maroney was the running back, and then there was a recovery in the end
Man,
zone.
that dude.
Yeah, I believe that's how it
Maroney.
was in the last 8. So
I
think.
pinned SB42. He's one of my blamers.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He was terrible. I mean, I'm sure he's a nice guy, but man, did he kill us. Never
Hate
forgive.
Maroney. I didn't know that.
Lombardi's just going to stay
Well,
silent on this one.
I mean,
you basically traded Maroney to the
Oh, my
Colts
God.
for a first round pick. Trent Richardson was
Yeah.
Maroney 2.0.
Was
yeah,
that
but
it
Trent was the third pick overall. Maroney shared time with your guy Marion Barber
Right.
Yeah.
in Minnesota, and they ran a one back set, and they both were very effective.
Right.
But everybody thought Maroney had more skill, and that's why
Yeah.
Barber goes in the fourth. He went in the first. The better player was Barber.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though Parcells would tell you it would take you have to knock him down twice for Barber to get 4 yards, but the reality was he was a good player.
How many rushing yards does the Patriots need to have to win this game? It's not as important this year.
That was one of the things that I wrote down here.
Go ahead.
I think it's more about completions and
Moving the
execution,
chains.
moving the chains, than it is how many actual yards they get.
Right.
What they get in the fourth quarter to keep the ball away from Atlanta, that's the more important yards.
So
Gotcha.
Blunt is like 59 and a half for total rushing yards. I think they use Blunt more than Lewis in this game, just to guess.
I think in
'Cause
the first
they have
quarter
a bigger
it'll be-
O-line.
I
They're
think
gonna-
the first quarter it'll be more Lewis to spread them out, force them into base formation, spread them out. Then I think it'll be Blunt to win the game because you got to tire them out. That's the one thing nobody really talks about in football games is the ability to tire the opponent out.
Right. But this is pounding the ball. I think, and I love Lewis for a lot of these over props
Right.
because I think, like you said, the Patriots' version of pounding the ball could be a screen to Lewis or something. You know,
But
like-
but the thing is, Lewis and Blunt run the same runs. So if you're the defense coordinator of the Falcons, if Lewis is in the game and Blunt's in the game, the same runs are going to play. If White's in the games, you're playing draws and screens.
I see.
So that's what makes those two so effective is their ability to
So
run
you think
the same
stay
run.
away?
Huh?
Stay away from a total with one of those two guys because they're going to be mix and matching.
Right. They're going to be, but I think early it's going to be Lewis because I think they're going to need the speed on the field to take advantage of the Falcon defense.
Okay.
I think they're going to run the ball a lot in this game.
You
That's
do?
my expert opinion. Yeah,
right.
I do. Because they have a bigger offensive line.
Largest lead, you go over under 16.5.
You know, I saw that one on there. I would have said under.
Mm-hmm.
I think because both teams can score, I think it'll be until the fourth quarter or until one of the teams get control of the game.
And also, you have the history of the Pats in the Super Bowl. This is the 7th one. I don't think Rams 14-3 might have been.
Yeah,
The Eagles, I think, they were up by 10 or 13 in that game. I don't ever remember them being up by
Right.
more than 2 touchdowns in a Super
It's the
Bowl
other
or
thing.
down.
The Patriots screw up that other bet, which I love, is will there be 3 straight scores by either team? And in the Patriots Super Bowl,
good
it's
one.
hard to come by.
Usually for them, it's like last 2 of the second quarter and
Mm-hmm.
then the first one of the third quarter. Can I just tell you how much Sal loves the biggest lead bet?
I
It's
do.
like
I do.
his version of a gambling hot fudge sundae.
I go over.
It gets
though,
to
Norma, right?
14. It gets to 14. He always goes over. As soon as they have it's just he's on the edge of it. You just love it.
Wouldn't it be nice to just one team goes up by 17? I don't have to watch the rest
That's
of the game.
it.
I could drink beers with Collins, you and Collins.
Collins?
What did I say?
Jamie Collins.
Jamie Collins. Yeah.
Jamie Collins.
he's buying. Yeah, he's buying.
Yeah, why not? Here, this is interesting, actually. Speaking of over under 13.5 F-bombs unleashed by Lombardi after realizing the bakery gave him mini cannolis instead of full size.
Lock that down.
So upset by that.
That would disturb me.
You
I don't
wouldn't
know.
like that.
Yeah, I would
The
bet
mini-
the over on that. I
No
would bet the
Italian likes a
over on
mini
that.
cannoli.
That's great. All right. So you like Brady to run the ball. So you would the Patriots to run the ball. Brady 24.5 completions. You might go under there.
No, I
Remember
would go
we
over
did this?
that.
Oh, over.
Yeah, I would go over too.
I think when they play teams like this, when they play when they play teams that have great offenses and not so great defenses, the execution of their offense is always really good. When they play the Colts, look at how many times they played Andrew Luck and the Colts. That's a pretty good offense.
Right.
I mean, not this year, but in the past. So I think that this is similar to when they played the Colts. Really good offense, defense that's marginal, and Brady throws a lot of completions, and they're going to take the profits in the game. They're going to take the 4-yard gains and keep moving the chains.
Okay.
We went big on that in the Seattle Super Bowl.
We went over, right? Yeah.
We went over on completions, and he started out a little rocky, and then like the second half
Well,
just
they
came
were
on.
behind. How
Yeah.
often are they behind in a Super
Right.
Bowl, any game?
I remember
he had to
passing
throw.
it and being super excited and like, oh, wait a second, the Super Bowl's at stake. I should be focused on that.
I would be surprised if he had less than 24 completions.
Is that right?
Yeah, I would be shocked.
Wow. Okay, that's a shocker. That's a first
Okay,
Mike
mark
Lombardi
that one
shocker.
down.
Deion Lewis, I said I like all his overs. Yes, he will score his plus 170. Receiving yards, 22.5. I like that.
Well, 39.5 total rushing yards seems very low.
Yeah, because he could break one.
That's
So
like
you would go
2
that way
9-yard
instead of
runs. He's
catching
halfway there.
I think he's getting a couple out of the backfield on the.
But if you're the Falcons,
wheel
aren't you
route.
you're like, that guy's not beating us out of the backfield catching the ball, period.
But remember, the Falcons are they're going to play some man-to-man, and if he gets isolated on one of those linebackers, whether it's Deion
look
Jones
out.
or Campbell, then he's going to have an advantage, and they're going to throw the ball. And when they do play zone, there's an area of the zone that's really voided that they'll throw the ball to him. I mean, it'll be, like I said, it'll be a profit play. Throw the ball to Lewis in the flat, throw the ball to Lewis over there, let him gain 12, 14, and go. And they spread them out for the indicator, when they spread it out to see if you're in man or zone, and he gets caught up in one of those matchups, and they're in man, it's going to be deadly.
Playing a zone against Brady is like sharing a pizza with House.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do
I've heard
it.
that before.
You can do it. It's going to work out poorly. You're going to end up with 2 slices, and
Unless
he's
you're
going
on
to
a diet,
upset.
it's going to work out.
Unless you're,
for us.
yeah, we're just
But
picking the cheese off
if you
it.
look at the numbers of Brady's when he's played against the Seattle style of defense, which
Right.
is what Atlanta, it's staggering.
Yeah, he's
the
been pretty
yards
good.
and the completions.
They don't have the type
That's
of
the
team.
4-3 scheme. Yeah, that he's.
So it's a cover 3 scheme that plays a lot of cover man. They don't have Richard Sherman. Nobody's talked about Desmond Trufant being
Right.
out.
Right.
Like that's because nobody really
It's huge.
exploited it.
But you go back to that Seattle game, and I'd say again that they were behind a lot. You were disappointed in the Patriots' offense a little up until the late.
Well,
third
because
quarter.
the offensive line couldn't block them. Michael
Yeah,
Bennett was
that
a problem.
O-line was on.
Until they got tired, it was the only
Fumes.
time we could move the
Figured it
ball.
out.
Yeah.
Okay.
We needed Edelman's third concussion of that game. Really rallied the team
That
together.
was it?
If you watch the tape, it's not the first one or the second one. It's the third one.
He comes up to me right now. Edelman 7.5 receptions.
Oh, I thought they were going to say concussions.
no,
I got scared.
no, it's right there.
Depends. The thing about this Patriots team is you never know who it's going to be. You know,
But
Edelman
Edelman's
had 4
always going to
catches.
get the ball. Brady trusts Edelman. He's always going to get the ball, and there's going to be a lot of. There's going to be if they're in man, there'll be a tough matchup for them to cover him in man. If he's in zone, he's going to get the ball quite a bit.
7.5's a lot. I remember Jerry Rice
a lot.
at 6.5, 7 for some of the Super
So
Bowls.
Julio Jones was 6.5, and I actually like the over for that for an unconventional reason. I subscribe to the Mike Lombardi theory of they're not going to let him go deep.
Right.
They're fine with the 7-8 yards. If they run him over the middle on that play, like what got him the touchdown, there's going to be 3 guys there ready, and I think they're going to give him. He might end up. I think their goal for him, correct me if I'm wrong, would be like 10 catches for 84 yards.
Yeah, no
That's
doubt.
like their dream scenario,
Right.
right?
Really?
Remember in the Eagle game where he had the most catches, he had 10 catches. He averaged 13.5 yards.
Yeah.
So amount of catches doesn't matter. It's the big plays. You have to limit the big plays.
Right.
Like Hogan was 9 for 180. If Julio ends up with that, then the Pats are going to have to score 40
Then
points
the
to
overs
win.
in play.
Yeah.
I think the fishiest prop on the board is Edelman minus a half a yard over Julio Jones. You looking at that immediately, you might think Julio Jones. They're begging you to take Julio Jones there, Mike, but no, Edelman will have more yards.
Yeah.
That's
you like
the
that,
old-
don't you,
Yeah,
Sal?
I do.
Yeah, I could see
what
that.
I
I could see.
I like
a good one. I like
now
it
you
too.
like Chris Hogan.
I do. I had one of my favorite ones is the longest Chris Hogan reception. Over under. What do you think it is, Mike?
18.
23.5.
Wow.
And it's hit 4 of his last 6 games.
He's once a game Brady hits him for between
Right.
25 and 35.
Right.
I like that one.
If they play a lot of man-to-man, which is what they did against the Packers, which is what they did against Seattle, and they were able to get away with it in both games playing at home, Hogan will have a 23-yard game.
He'll get there.
He'll get there.
All right.
But if they play zone, maybe he won't.
A number of different Patriots have a rushing attempt. 4.5. I go under.
Yeah, that
You
seems
get
like
the-
a
you
lot.
get the sneak
There might
from
be the
Brady.
James White and
White,
the Brady
Brady,
one.
White,
That's
White,
it.
Lewis
Blunt.
Blunt. Ooh,
You'd
and
have
then
to have a fullback.
Well, the only thing would be Devlin on short yards. I would say that there's no more than 4. There's no more than those 4 going to touch the ball.
Right.
Although Edelman, does he count as a receiver
Sure.
on a
Yeah,
return?
if he-
then
A reverse?
that's-
on a
yeah.
reverse, yeah. That
Hold
would
on.
count.
I keep telling you to stop wasting money on expensive takeout. Are you a takeout guy, Sal?
Of course, yeah.
Are you a takeout guy, Mike?
No, not
Okay.
too much.
Well, good, because if you sign up with Blue Apron for less than $10 per meal, Blue Apron will deliver you all the fresh ingredients you need for a delicious home-cooked meal. They have the highest standards for ingredients. They build a community of home chefs that has no rival. Tate would eat Blue Apron every day if his kitchen was clean.
Really?
Yeah.
You have a kitchen, Tate?
He's
Does he have a
23.
dorm-
There's no way.
Tate, do you have a dorm-style kitchen?
Tate's kitchen has to look like...
Are there,
it's
are
gotta
there
look
dishes
like
in the sink? Are the dishes still in the
I
sink?
actually live here.
Okay.
Your kitchen's got... I remember being 24. My
Right.
kitchen was like the apartment in 7.
Yeah.
Some of the meals available in January on Blue Apron include seared pork chops with farro and cranberry chutney, spaghetti squash and marinara with mushrooms and garlic knots, and spicy shrimp and Korean rice cakes with cabbage and furikake. Did we ever figure out? I'm saying that one correctly? Yeah. I looked it up online and everything. Right now,
That's a free ad for them.
you could get your first 3 Blue Apron meals for free with free shipping. Just go to blueapron.com/BS. Blue Apron, a better way to cook. All right.
There you go. All right. This is interesting. Over under 2.5 Patriots very white receivers added to Trump's cabinet in the offseason. That's way over, right?
They are looking at Chris Hogan for a big position.
Excellent. All right. Matt Ryan, 320.5.
Can you imagine either one of these teams will be the first team that have to go to the White House for this?
Oh, I know. The Cubs got it under the wire, right? You're just at the wire. They
that
got
I
would
think
be an
there's some
interest-
Patriots that might be excited to
Oh, yeah,
go
that's
visit
true.
the Donald.
That's true.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan, 320.5. If you like him to play catch-up football, he might go over or no?
I think Matt Ryan will have a lot of yards. I think he's going to have a lot of attempts.
Right. That's high, though, right?
Yeah.
Who do you think the
one
number
defense?
2 wide receiver for receiving yards will be on the Falcons after?
Okay, so I think
Julio.
they'll play it. I think they'll double Julio high-low. The guy that plays Sanu has to be a physical guy and kind of reroute Sanu.
Eric Rowe?
I think it could be Logan Ryan on
Okay.
Sanu. They played against each other in college.
Hold on. Sanu was detained at the Houston airport. I'm sorry.
What?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And then, then Taylor Gabriel. I would say, I know this sounds crazy. Put Malcolm Butler on Taylor Gabriel. Put Logan Ryan on Sanu.
Oh, wow.
And
Just
then,
take Taylor Gabriel out.
and then take Taylor. And then now, because those tight ends aren't going to. I don't know what their prop bets are. Those tight ends, but let them catch it. It's like the other day. Jesse James, let him catch 100 balls. they're
How
not
much
going to
does
beat
it
you.
affect Kyle Shanahan that he's about to get this Niners job, but he's also preparing for the Super Bowl? Does that 10% affect?
I think
20?
it's a hard thing to do. He's trying to put together a staff. He obviously hired a general manager. He interviewed them. But, I'm sure what he tried to do is put the game plan together last week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, get that done, and then it's just the execution of it. But
Mike wanted to hire Kyle Shanahan in Cleveland.
I know.
I did.
They got him
I
as
did.
the
We
OC,
did.
but you thought he could have been head coach.
I thought he was a great coach.
Mike
yeah.
loves him. Our friend Alec loved to go head over heels in love with him.
Yeah.
I think he's really talented. I think this will be a challenge for him there because there's no quarterback, and that's what he'll be able to do is to find a young quarterback.
Right.
Like he identified Kirk Cousins,
Right.
And so he's going to have to find somebody. Look, he won 7 games in Cleveland. Brian Hoyer.
Can he identify Jimmy Garoppolo for the number 2 pick in the
I think
draft?
he would love Jimmy Garoppolo. I think he
We'll
would.
give them 32 or 31 if they lose, and our 4th.
The Browns won't do it. It
No.
makes too much sense.
Oh, the Browns should trade a.
Yeah, I
they
know. It
have a
makes
12th
too much
32
sense.
pick
and
They'll never
Jimmy.
do it.
They should trade the 12th pick overall for
Sure.
Jimmy. They're not going to get a quarterback as
Of
good as
course.
Jimmy.
What
at
about
12.
30?
Yeah.
Mike, what about 32 and Jimmy for number 2 and a 4th? Would you do that if you're Belichick?
You
I
don't
think he
need-
would do it.
You don't need any more picks.
need more
But then what he would do
Patriots
is
shouldn't
take,
get
like
any
you
picks.
said, he would then take that 1 and trade it all the way back down to 30.
Go back, yeah. Belichick, if he had the second
Yeah.
pick, it would be 7 more trades.
You're right.
We'd end up with the 29th pick again somehow, and 17 second rounders.
I like Devonta Freeman to score a touchdown. 7 in the last 9 games.
He's good.
He's hit
Devontae
pay
Freeman's
dirt.
good. Was he
Runs.
on your running back list, Mike?
Yeah, he was actually. I was in Cleveland at the time, and he was perfect for what Kyle did in Cleveland. He fits perfectly what they did. They picked him in the 4th round. He was really perfect.
How did they get him from Cleveland?
Because I had left, and then I don't think they liked him as much in Cleveland. They picked Terrence West in the 3rd round. I was gone from that
Why
draft.
did you leave? You should have just stayed.
Because the owner told me to get my
No, that's so
go
what?
get my, he
Just
told me to go
stay.
get my shine box.
Just hang out. Who cares? All right, Julio Jones, we talked about 6.5. He seems to have 4 in the first quarter every game, but if Butler shuts him
He's
down,
so scary.
you don't want to do it.
I was trying to think, has there been a scarier receiver to go against the Pats in a huge playoff game? And the only one I could think of is somebody I wasn't scared of going into the game, but Owens in the Super Bowl. So it was like, oh, he's got a broken leg. He's going to be limping around. And Owens was a beast as that game went along. I don't know how he was doing
But I mean,
it.
look,
But
they played Marvin Harrison. The guy's in the Hall of Fame. He's really good. Reggie Wayne's been good. I mean, there's a lot of good players you play against.
How about 2 weeks ago, Antonio Brown? But you just knew it wasn't going to – you didn't trust Roethlisberger.
I
That's
think
why it was a
Julio.
different
I didn't trust Roethlisberger as much. I think Julio is terrifying.
Yeah.
Right.
When
But
when he catches those 9-yarders over the middle and he's going
the only
full
thing I will
speed.
say, the more that would worry me is the fact that he does come off the field a lot, and he is prone to have that problem with his foot,
yeah.
with his
Take
toe.
Oh,
2-3 drives
that'd be
off.
great.
Yeah.
Maybe so step on his foot.
I think this is the best, the best, hottest quarterback you've played in maybe ever, right?
It seems like it. I really think. All right,
Hottest,
let's
I'm
say
not
the
saying
Pats won
best.
by 20.
Yeah.
Our takeaway afterwards would be, wow, we totally overrated those Seattle Green Bay teams. We should have known.
Right.
I think that's
I don't
in
wanna
play.
I don't want to bring the subject up, but I think if Dallas played Atlanta, Dallas would beat Atlanta.
boy.
Don't
I'm
bring
sorry.
that up.
boy.
I'm
Don't
sorry.
bring that up.
But it's true. I think Dallas would have
Can
played
you tell
them.
Sal how many carries Elliott should have had in that game?
Well, it's
if you were-
I haven't had a chance to discuss it with you, but I think
Hey,
it's really
let's
one
do it.
of the,
Let's get it
it's-
over with.
It's one of Jason Garrett's worst moments.
Oh, I watched 3 minutes of that Pro Bowl. And by the way, thank you, Bill. I did bet the under for the
Nice.
NFC. 42.5 points. I bet the under.
Congratulations.
I couldn't look at him smirk the whole. I couldn't do it. Just too much smirking from Jason
So do you think he
Garrett.
should have had 35 carries? 38?
I think, like I said earlier on the podcast, it's all about the pace and how to play the style of game. I think if you watch enough basketball games and watch college games, you have to know when you play your opponent, this is how we have to play the game to win. That's what
Right.
the Patriots will do.
we are
Whereas Jason
controlling the
Garrett-
pace.
Where Jason Garrett just played the game as if we're just going to play the game.
Yeah.
And, you know, when
you're
he-
giving us this? Oh.
I mean, he
let's
spiked
throw
the
it.
ball. He spikes the ball with 40 seconds
Well,
to
that's
go.
ridiculous. Yeah.
You know, that's.
But Mike, and far be it for me to defend Jason Garrett. He's
I like that. I
the
like
root
how
of,
this is going.
most of our troubles, but it took us 59 minutes to catch up. How much clock do you want to kill with Zeke Elliott? Like I think
Or
I
he
think
could
it
make
was
a big
fine.
play at any time. I mean, you have to put the ball in the back.
Yeah.
Plus, they were playing like they were so unsound on defense. Like if you just looked at the numbers, some sides they had 3 guys on, sometimes they had 5. I mean,
Right.
they were imbalanced.
They
couldn't
look
make big
sloppy.
plays.
I'm with
wasn't a
Mike.
good
They were.
defense.
You ever see Curly in the Three Stooges?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so Curly's in the boat, all right, and Mo and Larry are with him. And there's a hole in the boat. So Curly has the bright idea to drill another hole to let the water from the first hole out. That's Dom Capers' defense right there. Okay? That's what he was doing against the Cowboys. He was drilling one hole to let the water in the other hole, and you kept the boat afloat.
Thank you.
Amazing.
I think that was the most
What a
effective
moment.
80-year-old reference
I love that.
I've ever had.
It's true.
I love that. We have to put it on
Hey,
Twitter.
do you know the
YouTube
Three
clip.
Stooges? Yes. Okay, there you go.
That's great.
They're
I know.
checkmate right there, Sal.
Mike, you're going under 13.5 first half points for the Falcons. That seems low. It's ballsy to go under, but
So here's
if
one
you
thing.
like the under in the game, you kind of have to like that. If you think they're going to come out tight and all that stuff, 13
I think
and
the
a half.
crowd's going to be weird. One of my theories for this game, the Pats, I just don't see the fans making the trip the same way. It's the seventh time. Everybody's kind of made their Mecca to a Super Bowl at this point. So they're going to have the diehards. Atlanta, they're going to have Atlanta fans, but like how many Falcons fans are there? You know, unless you're
know.
from Atlanta, like you're not in Sacramento growing up as an Atlanta fan. And I think it's going to be a weird crowd. Like there's going to be a lot of Houston fans and a lot of oil money there. And I think there's going to be a weird vibe. And I think that would affect
The
both
first half
teams, right?
points?
The first half is just
Yeah.
because we've been to Super Bowls where the energy just doesn't feel right.
Right.
Nothing.
You know, Glendale was like that. The Pats Giants.
And this
It
is
just felt weird.
NRG Stadium. There should be there's plenty of it. I don't know.
Oh, good
Energy?
point.
Is that what it is? All right. Falcons sacks. How many? I'll ask you how many you think they'll get, and then we'll go by that. What do you
I would
guys
say
think?
2.
2.
So total sacks is 4, and that was one of the ones I had marked because
Right.
Mike was the one who told me Matt Ryan's been hit fifth
90
most times in the league, 99
Yeah.
times,
Mm-hmm.
and this is against he's played. You know, they played some good teams, but they also had some garbage teams on that schedule too. 99 times seems like a lot for
He
a team
gets hit
that's
a
in the
lot
Super Bowl.
because that's the weakness of the team is their offensive line. That's
Mm-hmm.
a little bit. That's why I compared them to the Colts.
Right.
They're better than the Colts. The Colts don't have as great a receiver as Julio, but that's who they're a lot like, and so
Yeah.
their offensive line is the liability of the team.
So you go over 4. Like I was thinking 1.5. I go under 1.5 Falcon sacks. I just don't. I don't see
I think
Brady getting hit as much.
5 combined scenes.
All right. So
Brady will
that's
have the
about right.
one play when McDaniels gets cute and it doesn't work and he just eats it. Like lock that down.
Right.
And then there might be the second one where blindside somebody screws up.
They will not. They will. Let me say this to you. They will not out trick Brady. Like if he knows a blitz is coming, like Aaron Rodgers,
Right.
that won't happen to them. Like
Oh, that felt like a
won't
Rodgers
happen.
dig. Tiny
Well,
bit of
that
a
was,
Rodgers dig.
I don't blame Rodgers for that. That was they didn't repoint the mic. So whenever if you don't repoint the mic, that's going to happen. The Patriots repoint the mic.
Okay.
So,
Brady at the line
What does
is
that mean? Repoint.
just not. Brady at the offensive line. His ability to just be like, oh, you're gonna do this. All right, I'm gonna do this.
Right.
It was him and Peyton Manning, and who else can even do it?
Well, Rodgers could do it. He
Rodgers-
just doesn't, have,
Rodgers,
he
there's
just
the
doesn't have
third.
a lot of volume in the offense to do it
Right.
because he doesn't have a running back there. There's a little thing, but no, he can do it.
It's not a long list, is my point.
No.
And it's nice to. I think Romo could do it.
I feel like
When he's
you
on the
guys
Chiefs
are,
next year.
You guys are. Why is this line only 3? Really, everything's pointing to the Patriots. I'm not saying that's who I'm going with, but
I guess 6.5, and I was pretty good
Yeah.
this season. I was 3.5 points off.
I would have thought it was going to be, and I don't know Lions, but I thought it was going to be a 6-point line.
you did. I mean, basically, they're saying these teams are even, and we're going to give the Patriots an advantage because they've been there before. And
I think it's a 3-point game probably, but I thought the Pats would get more gambling respect. I guess is my point.
I thought.
I think
you
it's
know,
an either team
beating
wins a game,
Pittsburgh
but-
as soundly as they beat in Pittsburgh. I mean,
Yeah.
first of all, these two teams, the average margin of victory for the Patriots is 15, and they're 14 wins in the regular season.
Right.
And Atlanta is like 12, 13, so they're really high up. They're 11
That's
wins.
close,
So
yeah.
they've blown out their opponents. Mm-hmm. But like I said to start, I mean, usually one of these offenses isn't going to play very well.
Hold on. New sponsor, theblacktux.com. They made looking great for a wedding or a special event. The easiest it's ever been. Oh, Tate's perking up. Tate has some people getting married in his life, possibly down the road, right? Black Tux, theblacktux.com.
Yeah, for my brother's wedding.
Yeah.
Black Tux.
High quality rental suits, tuxedos delivered to your doorstep. The Black Tux is giving guys a new way to rent. The Black Tux offers free home try-on, so you can see the fit and feel the quality of your suit months before the event. And the best part, it's completely done online. No trips to the Tux shop required. TheBlackTux.com lets you create your look or choose from tons of stylist selected outfits starting at just $95. They're modern. They're made from fine Italian wool. Italian.
There you go.
Nice.
So
The
you have
highest
your-
quality on the rental market. And they also have an expert customer care team that'll help you. After ordering, your suit arrives 14 days before your event. That's a full 2 weeks to try it on and make sure everything fits Or if anything is less than perfect, and if it's not, the Black Tux will send you a free replacement right away. And after you're done, drop your rental back in the mail. Shipping is free both ways. How easy is that? Get started right now. Visit thebblacktux.com/BS and experience a new way to rent. That's thebblacktux.com/BS. All right.
I feel bad. I feel like Mike's not having a good time. He's checking his phone.
He's
see
having
what
a great
it
time.
is.
I love it.
Are you?
I'm happy.
I'm
really happy.
The John Lynch hiring. He's got a lot of texts about that today, I think.
Yeah.
Really?
A lot of
Oh,
what the hell is going on
You
in San
wanted that to
Francisco.
be your job,
No.
didn't you?
No, I'm
No,
done.
Mike-
I'm
Mike's here.
I'm fine. I'm really
Okay.
happy. I'm happy. But no, I think it's the league. I think a lot of it is,
Yeah.
the you guys have worked really hard to become general managers, and a guy who's been an ex-player who's never really been in a draft room before.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a challenging job, and I just think it's kind of interesting how it went about. But I mean, have more power to them and see if they can handle it.
Right.
Supposedly, this now opens the door for Zaragoza to get a
Oh,
GM
really?
job. Yeah, well, anyone on TV
Well,
now.
yeah,
John
I mean,
Lynch
that's-
said, like,
I
Zaragoza,
think it
get him a job.
minimizes the expertise that you have in a front office when you do something like this. Like, it's saying to you, anybody could do that. So we'll just take an ex-player from the field and bring him up. Where like Ozzie Newsome spent 4 years with us in Cleveland learning
Right.
the trade.
Yeah.
When he first came up, he'd be the first to tell you he had no idea some of the stuff that was going on because a player doesn't really know that.
When Tate's running the ringer someday, we'll be like, yeah, Tate was started out producing podcasts. The kid just hustled and just worked his way up. Now he's on his third wife. Everything's great.
He's an angel investor.
He's the angel investor. He's a billionaire.
I'm rooting for it. I'm telling you now, I am. They should have a prop for that, for how long it's going to take. All right, now we go to the cross-sport one. You like these a little, Simmons.
So we have a couple big ones left. I have my
Okay.
prop of the Super Bowl that
Well, I have my, but
I'm not going to guarantee it because I don't want to get sued if it doesn't come through.
sued.
But it's the strongest I felt about a Super Bowl prop in years. Like, I saw it and I was like, what? And I just kept looking at it thinking there was a typo or an error.
What is it?
You want me to do it now?
Oh, no. Well, should we wait? Because I'll have my Gary Russell prop.
Let's wait. We'll wait till the tail end.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll wait till the end. Patriots points -2.5 over Isaiah Thomas points.
Oh, that was it.
Sunday. Oh, that's it.
That was my lock of the
Oh,
year.
Great.
That's it.
Should give me a heads up.
It's
Somebody-
2.5
Explain that to me.
points.
Somebody explain that
You want,
to me.
you want me to
So
set? You want
the bet is if you bet on Isaiah Thomas, which I think is the bet
Not
of
the
the year,
broadcaster, the Celtics.
the Celtic
Right.
star,
Okay.
who's
Got it.
been putting up between 34 and 45 every night, basically. He's getting 2.5 points. So if he finishes with 38, the Pats have to score 41 to beat him.
I got it.
If he
But he
finishes
averages
with,
Is he playing
29,
the same
right?
night?
but the last like 20 games, he's
fire.
basically been.
Is he playing the
34
same
a game.
night?
Yeah.
It's
Same day.
same day.
During the day.
So
So
you put
you'll
them
know
together.
what his point total is.
You have to do it before.
You'll know what the
Oh.
Patriots
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to be. You'll know what they have to be. Yeah.
So if the Pats end up at 34, if he scores 32 or higher, you cover it. And
Right, I got it.
So on top of it, who are they playing?
Clippers, don't they play little
Playing the
defense?
Clippers. No Chris Paul.
Right.
You have like the J.J. Redick, Jamal Crawford, all that stuff. But on top of it, they might make the Carmelo trade. 2 of those guards might be in that trade
Oh,
like that
interesting.
weekend. I'm getting in now.
Wow.
We'll talk later.
All right.
We'll talk later.
All right. So
I
you like
love
the
it.
Pats there.
I also, it's out of respect to the great crunch time
So
scoring
you
that
have,
Isaiah's given us.
scoop that Carmelo's going where?
I think if it happens, that's going to happen next week.
And where to?
I mean, that means that's happened in 4 days.
In 4 days now.
Well, five.
Oh, yeah, you're right. This
Yeah.
weekend. Yeah. I think he's going to end up in the Clippers.
Wow.
I do.
And you don't know. So he can't give it up. He has inside
No, I think
information.
J.J. Redick will be involved, and I think
That's what you're going to learn. This is
Austin
what
Rivers.
sucks about working for Bill. He gets inside information. He has to be coy about this stuff. But
I don't have
understand.
inside information on this.
No?
I'm just a logical human being.
But he's been working the
Spocking.
trade calculator for
Yeah.
3
I know.
days in a
Trade
row.
Looking from every way. It's got to be Cleveland or the Clippers because those are the 2 that he wants to go to, and I think it's going to be the Clippers. I
But
think it makes
then they
sense.
won't
It'd be the
involve
same
the
thing with
13.
Romo. We
No,
can
it
figure
has
out
to
where he's
involve.
going to go because it's
I know.
where he wants to play.
Well, and I can't tell you about that either.
I know.
The fun part of that trade is Redick. You need a third team, but a bunch of teams could use J.J. Redick.
Right.
So whatever asset you get for the third team from Redick goes toward the Knicks, and it makes sense.
Real quick, Mike.
Yeah.
Can the Cowboys get? I'm worried about Jerry doing the wrong thing here and not releasing Romo, and nothing can happen until he does. with these other teams.
They
can't
have
show
to, right?
interest.
They can't trade him because it's
But if
such
you
a.
can get a second
Well, they could
rounder,
post. They
do you
could
think you can
post
get a
June
second
1.
rounder?
They could post June 1 as cap. I don't think anybody's going to give him a second
You
rounder.
don't think so?
I think the problem with trading him is he's got to agree to go.
Yeah.
So you need him involved with the trade.
Sure.
And he's going to want to, and the other team's going to want to talk to him and kind of give him a medical before they make a trade. So releasing him makes more sense.
It makes sense. I just don't know if he does. So
I think if
you
he
don't
went
think
to
if
Jerry and said, Jerry, look, I want to play. Why
I was
don't
a
you
good
just release
soldier.
me? I was a good soldier.
Right.
It's Dak's team. I'm not going to come in here and compete. With Dak, it's already predetermined.
Yeah.
Then
You're leaving out one crucial point, though, and this is why I think he gets waived. If you're Romo, it's better off to get waived because the new team you're going to, instead of that big salary cap figure you're bringing and hogging their cap, you're getting paid anyway.
Of course.
You go to the new team, you're making minimum salary, whatever it is, and they can spend that money on one or two more
Yeah,
guys.
but if he goes to a new team, he won't make minimum salary. He'll get a new deal.
Oh, yeah, he could get a new deal. That
He'll
would
get
be
a new
good, too.
deal. And he'll double dip because Jerry's bonus money will stay in his pocket. So the guarantees are not going
Right,
away.
so he could get like another $5 million a year or something.
Well,
but
I think if he went somewhere to start, say he went to Kansas City, I think they would have to pay him somewhere between 10 and 14
11,
million
yeah.
with
Wow.
a chance with incentives.
Oh.
Yeah, you're not going to get him on the cheap. No.
So you still think Kansas City is logical?
I know. I mean, to me, if you put him on that field against the Steelers, the Chiefs would have been going to New England to play.
And then Alex Smith becomes available, which is fun.
Or you got Alex Smith. Look, they really wanted Nick Foles to see what he could do, and then he kind of didn't really play very well. So I think the issue is going to be, and then Houston's the other team because the heist
I wouldn't
is,
trade him to Houston.
So
The
not
heist is-
Denver. You're saying Denver's out.
I don't think Denver has the attitude to really want to embrace him. I think Denver wants to see if Paxton Lynch can be a player.
Yeah.
I think that's their mindset.
Can't trade him to Houston.
I'm worried about that. That's what I'm worried about.
Can't put him in
I'm
Texas.
worried about Jerry
Get him out of
saying
Texas.
that. First of
Yeah.
all, I do think they can maybe. There are 8 teams that need quarterbacks.
There's a bunch of them.
Don't you think that honors a second rounder in there somewhere?
No,
Jerry's
because
not
I think,
going to
I think you're buying a guy who you're not going to have a longevity with. A second rounder is going to have at least 4 years on your team, and it should start. And so
Especially though the cap is now, that second rounder is
You
so
think
valuable.
those are gold. Those are
I
gold.
think it's like a 5th rounder.
The Vikings thought that Bradford was going to be a 4-year starter. They gave up.
yeah.
a
Well,
1
they
and a
do. Well,
3.
they knew that. They knew when Bridgewater got hurt, they
Yeah.
knew that
was
he
a
was
two-year
a 2-year
deal.
thing. So
Yeah.
they had to make a
2.
move, and they have
Wow.
a team that's really good, whether you like Bradford or not. And that's a whole other podcast.
But we
Let's do
argued
that
about that at the
podcast.
time because you make that trade if you think we're going to win the Super Bowl with this trade, and that team wasn't even a playoff team.
Well,
I think
and
that
their
trade was a
offensive line
disaster.
fell apart. They had a bunch of injuries,
But
but at least now they
They
go
had a
into the
better offensive line
offseason.
when they made the trade.
Right. Well, then
I mean,
Khalil
they had a
got
couple
hurt.
injuries after, but
Right, but the Khalil
wasn't
got
great
hurt.
anyway.
The right tackle got hurt. Smith got hurt. So, but I think once to me, Houston to me is the best place for
I
him.
do too. But that's why I think Jerry's
'Cause he's
going to
got
be
a really good
reluctant
defense.
to do it. I do.
All right, we have
lem-
some time left.
Okay, let me go through these. Here's a good one. Tiger Woods' 4th-round bogeys against Matt Ryan touchdown passes.
Oh my God. It's like they created a bet for Joe House.
We got to get House in on this.
Wow,
he had
that's a
3
nice one.
bogeys a couple weeks ago in the 4th round. He had 2 bogeys in round 2 in this past tournament that he didn't make the cut for. If you like Ryan with, 2 touchdowns, I had an opinion on this. Now I can't even remember what the hell it is. I don't know. It's just fun. It's
That's
just
a fun one. I
thing.
do like that one.
Now, I never see a boxing one.
Yeah, Klitschko.
Klitschko and Anthony Joshua combined finished rounds versus Patriots and Falcons first half points. I'm blowing your mind here, Lombardi.
I'm trying to figure out all
The
this.
first quarter point, sorry, is -4.5. If you think that'll go like 7 rounds,
So basically,
When's
like a
the fight?
third round knockout, you
same
win that
Saturday
bet.
night. So yeah, you have to make this before Saturday, I believe.
Klitschko. Guy's like 100.
That's a tough one. I just like that boxing was involved. And now we get to the big odds ones.
Yeah.
First player to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like I
Man,
said,
I'll never forget. I won on the field one year with the Ravens. Brandon Stokely caught
Oh,
a touchdown,
yeah.
20-1. I won every bet I made for that Ravens Super Bowl. It was like one of the great 3 hours of my life. And Brandon Stokely, the field, it's so good. But then they lowered the field, they lowered the safety. Those
Yeah.
were the two. They were like, that's out of whack. The field is stupid.
they started to include every single player, so
Right.
the field was, the
like
equipment manager.
16 years ago, the field was like 9 or 10 guys, and then
Right.
everybody. So you get the defense, you'd
Right.
get like the third receivers on each team, every tight end.
So I think you pick your spot here. You say, hey, is it going to be a running touchdown? If so, I go Blount and I go Devonta Freeman, 8-1.
What's Brady?
7.5-1. Brady is 20-1 to sneak it in.
I kind of like the Brady.
You do.
Like,
When was the last
20 to
time a
1's great.
quarterback had the first touchdown?
It'd be great. If you're subscribing to this whole day is an FU from start to finish performance for Brady, bet on the 20 to 1.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. I
What
like the wide
receiver would you
receivers.
pick, Mike, if you had to pick anything?
Edelman.
Edelman. What's Edelman?
Edelman, I think, was 7-1. Is that right?
Did you see
7.5 to 1?
Edelman and mic'd up on the
No.
inside the NFL? He was great. He did a great job. But at one point, he goes to Chris Hogan. He's like, "Feels good, right?" Chris Hogan's like, "Yeah, yeah." And he's like, "Just wait till the next one." It was like Edelman just loves football.
Oh, he loves it.
and loves winning and just
works
doesn't
hard.
shut up. And he's such a great competitor.
And wants to get better every day.
He does?
Oh, my God. it's
What's wrong with
incredible.
him?
I know.
I know.
I know.
That's
Also
like
took
Tate.
less
That's
money.
what
A
Tate
great
does,
example
too.
of like
Another guy
could have
took-
signed with Jacksonville and been stuck like getting, almost paralyzed by Blake Bortles
Unbelievable.
over the middle, and instead stayed with the Pats.
Yeah, I mean, that's like the piece Kevin did in the Ringer, where Brady's salary really helps the Patriots. Not so much that he takes less money, it's because his number is the standard for which every guy has to kind of fall in line.
Right. So Darrelle Revis, even that 1 year, he's making 12.
Right.
But Brady was still a little bit higher than that
Right.
at that point. But then when Brady had to take less, Revis has to go.
You
Because
gotta
you
go.
can't have Brady's got to be top dog.
How does this work out?
Kevin
for
Clark
them
said
every year?
the Pats have, what was it, like 8 or 9 guys between $5 million and $8
Which
million,
is against
something
the,
like that?
everybody wants high-priced guys or no-money guys. And the Patriots take the other.
They have
That's
a
why
middle
their
class.
That's why their depth is better.
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate
I know
everything
you
you're
do,
saying.
Sal. I know you do.
Let me ask you this. What would have to happen for the Patriots to win and Brady not to win MVP?
Oh, I mean, Blunt could absolutely win it. Edelman could win it. Deion Branch won the
I mean,
Eagles.
if Deion Lewis does a three-peat again, where he does a kickoff touchdown, a catch a pass, I mean, I could see that.
What's
but-
Deion Lewis?
So they're trying to get. I'm going to pull it up now because this is the one that keeps changing. But so obviously Goodell. I don't know if he has any influence, but he doesn't want to hand that.
No.
That's an extra fu, right? So why? I don't know. Like if the AFC Championship game was the Super Bowl, does Hogan get the MVP? I still think Brady gets it. I think it's
That was
hard
the
to
best
give it.
game Brady's ever played.
I mean, I
from
don't
the
see it.
playoffs
Look,
from a
this
stats
game's coming
standpoint.
down to whether Ryan plays better or Brady plays better.
So you think it's one of those two,
One of the two.
for sure?
Could you parlay it with Brady breaking the trophy over Goodell's head?
I
or
like
no?
that.
That's 100 to 1.
But I could see Julio Jones getting it before Matt Ryan, but I can't see any receiver getting it before Brady. I just can't. Wait, let's get to these. Wait.
Deion Lewis, I think, is a good wild card.
Yeah,
Kick return possibilities.
that's
One
the
big
other area
wheel
we haven't-
route, 50-yard, and then like if he got to 70 yards running.
Brady minus 120. So to win the game, they're minus 150. They're not giving a lot of margin to anybody else.
I feel like we've had this conversation for 10 straight years
And
on
they
this
figured it out.
podcast, whether you should just bet the QB if you're betting on a team, but over and over again, the QB hasn't won. It's like, what is it, like 55, 60% of the time?
Forgot to look. Yeah, it's not as much as you would think.
Who won? Von Miller won, right?
Well, I mean, who,
because
they
that was an
can't
ugly
give that to
game.
Manning. I mean, you never thought.
That was but going into that game, either Cam was going to get it or somebody on the Denver
Right.
defense was going to get it.
Edelman 15 to 1. Not bad.
That's a good one.
But the
Blunt
problem
18
with,
to 1.
problem
Lewis
with
20
any
to 1.
receiver on the Patriots, the ball has to get delivered to him,
Yeah.
and it's going to be the guy who delivers the ball,
Right.
not the guy who catches it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like Hogan had 2 touchdowns, 180 yards or something last
Right,
2
and
weeks
Brady
ago.
would have won the MVP. of
Brady
that
would have
game.
won MVP.
I
You
mean,
can't give it.
So
to
what was
anyone
Deion Lewis?
else. Deion Lewis was 20 to 1.
See, I think that's the best. If you either go Brady or you go long shot, and you just hope there's a 1 in 20 chance Deion Lewis has.
But I agree with you on Atlanta. I mean, I could see if Julio Jones has a monster game, then give it to him.
Right.
Or if Vic Beasley sacks Brady 7 times,
You know, Deion Lewis is on the Patriots because of one of the 4 people in this room, and it's not Tate.
Tate?
It's
What
not
did he do?
Tate. It wasn't me. And
I
it
don't
wasn't
think
you.
it wasn't me either.
No,
Mike.
No, that
Yeah,
was
you're
one
gonna
of
have
his.
to admit it.
Do you remember when I drafted him for $1 in
Right.
the fantasy? I might have gotten some inside info.
Oh, really?
Just that he was good at football.
he's a really good player.
Yeah.
It's what people don't realize, he was the leading rusher at Pitt as a freshman. He set all records at Pitt. I mean, the guy's a little back, but he's powerful.
I think he's
And
great.
he's a good guy too, right?
He's a
Everybody
great
loves
kid.
him.
Great kid.
I think he factors into this game immensely. Now, I like your under, slightly under. 46 to 50 is 6 to 1 odds. 51 to 55 is 6 to 1 odds. I think that's a nice 10-point spread in there. 46 to 55. I think it puts it under. It's right in there. That's just me.
Highest scoring quarter was the second quarter, 9 to 5 odds.
Oh, that's good.
I thought that was a pretty good one. I think the second quarter,
What's the first quarter scoring?
it's higher. Everything else is.
Wow.
That was the only one that was
Yeah, I
under
didn't
2
see
to 1.
that last
The other one we didn't talk about was Brady over 2 touchdowns minus 250. Over 2.5, minus 120. Over 3 touchdowns, so we'd have to throw 4 or more, plus 265. But if that
I
4
definitely think he'll
touchdowns,
throw 3 touchdowns.
so 3 would be over 2.5 touchdowns, minus 120. I thought that was pretty
3
tasty.
is minus 120.
3 is minus
That would be-
120.
So I was looking 4 exactly is 4-1 odds. 5 is 8-1. If he really is in FU mode,
Well, 20 to 1 was 6 touchdowns, right?
6 or more is 20-1.
That's too low.
Well,
How many people have thrown 6 Super Bowl touchdowns? Like, did Montana even do that?
I don't know. We have to look at that. Steve
That's
Young in
crazy.
that one game.
52. Yeah, no. 6. I don't think so.
Like Doug Williams.
Maybe
No.
through 6?
Did they have? They
5 or
score that
6,
many
yeah.
points? I don't know.
Tate, get out of here. That's 4. That would have to be 42 points.
Total touchdowns
Tate was
by
doing
both
so
teams
well.
was 6.5. I thought that was a good one, too.
You like the under.
6.5 touchdowns means Vegas is saying there's going to be 45 points from touchdowns over under in this game.
That's an interesting bet because I think if you're in that gray zone in this game, first of all, if you send your punter on the field, either team, you're nervous.
Right.
Because you didn't hold serve and the other team could score.
Right.
So that's got to make you nervous. That's A. B, if you're in that 4th and 1 area and you're in that 40-yard field goal range,
Going.
the 3 might look like good, but you have to be careful because you're going to give the other team really good field position if you miss it. And that's a turnover. And then like what happened to Green Bay, they come in there, they miss the first field goal, they get a turnover, next thing you know. So I think you got to be, like, I could see the Patriots being more in 4-down territory in certain areas. And I would think if I'm Atlanta and I'm Dan Quinn, I'm saying, look, we're going to be in a lot of 4-down areas.
Right.
And
know-
you don't, as much as you respect Atlanta's offense, you don't love their red zone offense, right? You like it, you don't
I
love
think
it.
it becomes a little more closer down because they can't make the explosive play down there.
Right.
So it's got to be a lot of misdirections. Now,
And that's why the Patriots, really good red zone defense.
Right.
That's been
And
one
they're
of the
really
things.
good
Like,
on
they'll
third-
give you between the 20s.
they're really good on third
And
down
the-
red zone.
And the Falcons' red zone defense is not good, right?
They're
Like
horrendous.
28th or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, what happens if if this Patriots team played the king of inside the 20s, Kyle Orton, in his prime?
Oh,
He's
Kyle Orton-
530 yards passing and 0 points.
Exactly. Or Andy Dalton. Just watch the Andy Dalton games.
Andy Dalton's the new king of the 20s.
The only other thing before my big Gary Russell pick is I like the roulette thing where you pick exactly how many points your team scores. You just
I like that.
Take a
I saw
number.
that. I liked it.
28 is 12-1, 34 12-1, 38
What's 37?
20-1, 37 is 25-1. Let's do a bunch of these.
37 is
I like 34.
34. Yeah, it gives you something to look forward to.
37 is 5 Pats touchdowns, a field goal, and a missed Stevie G extra point.
That could happen. All right, now.
All right, so here's the story behind. This is
Go ahead.
the moment of the podcast. One of the first great moments in the history of the old BS report at ESPN. Sal comes in. We do a Super Bowl prop. Gary Russell. It's Gary Russell's Pittsburgh team against Arizona.
Right.
So it's the February 2009. So I've had the podcast, I think, a year and a half at this point. Do the things, and Sal's like, here's my big prop bet. He sells it the whole way. It's Gary Russell.
Will not score a touchdown.
Will not score a
The
touchdown.
Steeler running back, Gary
Yes.
Russell. I was wondering who this Gary. This is the
Yes.
Springsteen halftime Super Bowl in Tampa, correct?
Yeah, it's the Santonio Holmes.
Yeah, it's
Super
the
Bowl.
Springsteen. Okay.
Most people know it as the Santonio.
No,
Holmes.
a lot of
no,
people-
Everyone from Jersey knows it
I
as
want to make sure it's
Springsteen.
very
I think
clear.
it was
It's
the Dire Straits third quarter.
It's the Springsteen halftime show in
So,
Tampa. Okay, Super Bowl.
Gary
All right.
Russell, we're all at Jimmy's old house,
Right.
and there's 100 people there. And how fast did Gary Russell run for a touchdown?
He scored the first touchdown.
Yeah,
Not only
that's-
did he score a touchdown, he scored the very first touchdown of the game and was given the ball twice. I think it was a third down carry. It was his third attempt at a touchdown from inside the 5.
So at
He
this
scores.
point, I have no idea how many people are listening to my podcast. Like ESPN's not telling me, and I'd had maybe a couple people mention it, and that's it. And somebody at the party, as soon as they score, remember the 2 people were like, "Oh my God, Gary Russell, cousin Sal!" And we're like, "Whoa, somebody heard our podcast!" Like,
And
we
to
were so
add to
excited.
that, we later get a note that a couple at a different party started laughing and said something similar.
Yeah.
Gary Russell, who's laughing at Gary Russell's story? These two, a man and a woman, start talking about it, both fans of the BS report. They end up getting married.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, you're
A
matchmaking.
marriage
believe
from
that?
the Gary Russell
Right.
bet.
did.
Amazing.
So it's the best one we've ever had. Hank Kronowski was pretty. Was his name?
Now, well, just in addition, he ended up running off on the girl, and she found him and shot him in the head. But that's not.
It gets dark.
can
No,
let
the
you know.
story's
The
dark.
point is, they were a fan of the show.
I
It was
was
a very-
worried
they
about
caught-
that because I was looking at my phone wondering who Gary Russell was. I thought I missed some pop
No,
culture
that's
reference.
Who was the Giants? The big
Henry
beefy
Hanowski.
Henry
So I don't
Hanowski.
lose all these. Henry Hanowski was a winner. I think I had him over like 8.5
But
yards.
that was your first. I think that was the first time
That
you
might have
won
been
with
the first
one.
one.
That was the 11th Super Bowl
Yeah.
Right.
in Indianapolis.
I'm at the
Who
game.
sang there? Was that Up With People?
I'm trying to remember who the halftime show was there. I judge them all by the halftime
It's
show.
Tony Bennett, I think, did that one. Yeah, I'm
And
watching.
last year I had Fozzie Whitaker over 11.5 yards.
You've quietly nailed like 4 of the last 6,
Thank
something
you,
like
thank
that.
you.
Yeah, you've been
I
pretty
think-
good. All right, here we go.
So
Gary Russell.
here it is.
You know, one thing on this, we've been doing the Don Julio shot of the week for the entire NFL season. I've never been more excited for this one. Don Julio, the world's original handcrafted tequila with multiple unique tequilas, including Don Julio 1942. A nice one to pop right after the Super Bowl if you're a Falcons fan or a Patriots fan. It's the best luxury tequila you will ever drink. And now, the Gary Russell prop bet of the year.
My Gary Russell prop bet of the year.
Wow.
Play a drum or something, Tate. Come on, figure this out. The pride and joy of Waxahachie, Texas, birthplace of Captain Redneck, Dick Murdoch. Aldrick Robinson, over 6.5 yards on his first reception.
Wow. That takes a lot of guts to go down that road.
First catch will be 9 yards, hauling in somewhere around the second quarter. He has 2 touchdowns this year, 323 yards. Ask me how many receptions he has in the postseason, Mike.
Ask
He's
how many
had like 4 or
receptions does he
5.
have in the postseason?
No, 0. He has 0.
Wait a minute. No, he
Robinson?
Robinson. I saw him
I
catch
look-
one on the.
I thought he caught
What?
one last
I
week.
thought he caught one over by the boundary over off of.
Yeah.
Off of the 405.
No, no. Against
Before
the
the game, he
against
caught-
the Curly's defense,
All
so
right,
the Packers.
I swear I looked this up. I thought he had none in the postseason. But even better, Aldrick
Tate's
Robinson.
going to look it up. Aldrick Robinson.
Take it. In fact, when you were going over the coverages for the receivers, and I was like, oh, boy, he's going to blow it. You didn't even mention Aldrick Robinson.
Well, because he wouldn't be. Typically, they're not a 4-receiver team unless Julio got hurt or
he's
something.
not
I got to be
playing.
honest. I didn't totally know he had a first name.
Really?
I just thought his name was Robinson, like Madonna.
Mr.
I had
Robinson.
no idea what it was.
SMU. Waxahachie,
Oh, Tate's
Texas.
got it.
0 catches.
Thank
Zero
you.
catches.
Thank you.
Who are we thinking of?
I don't.
Not Gabriel, not Sanu.
wasn't
Who's that
Ga-
other guy they have?
I thought there was somebody else made a catch in that game.
That's great.
Yeah, there you go.
Aldrick
Aldrick
Robinson.
Robinson.
I love it.
So like 9 yards, second quarter.
That's it. One catch. That's going to put him over. And let me tell you something, Mike. You're betting these props on with us. Bill and I, we invest a lot of money. I happen to know what your signing bonus
maybe-
was at the Ringer. Bill
No,
said
maybe-
not to say, but $37,000 signing bonus. You could spend a little on these prop bets.
No, I think as a welcome to the Ringer family, we should chip in and get Mike a prop bet.
Okay, we'll get
so
you
he
a prop
understands
bet.
what it's like.
There
To,
you go.
Okay.
All right.
We'll always remember the Lady Gaga Super Bowl when he made his first prop bet.
That's right. I
you
will
call
remember.
it the San Antonio Holmes,
It's the Springsteen Super
the
Bowl. to me.
Springsteen Super Bowl. It's like the best Springsteen fan thing I think I've ever heard a
pretty
Springsteen
great.
fan say.
It's pretty
It would be
great.
like if I called Super Bowl 36 the U2 Super Bowl. You're like, what? U2? Yeah, when the Pats beat the Rams, but U2
You know,
played.
the strangest one was I was in Detroit. Of all places, the Rolling Stones were the halftime. The Detroit-Seattle one. Like
Yeah.
you would
Seattle,
think,
It was
Pittsburgh.
very
Seattle,
old Rolling
Pittsburgh,
Stones.
right.
like
yeah.
why would you put the Rolling Stones, an English band, in a town? You know,
Right.
like, it made no sense.
Where did Townsend do his one? That was because it was a prop. Will he break the guitar? Was Daltrey
that
or
was a while
Townsend?
ago.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Can't remember that. Let me just say, Cousin
yeah.
Sal, sure thing. I will have a Super Bowl win. I'll have my 3 best props. I'm up $4,200 on the year, and that's going up, up, and up. And
You did
that'll
well
be up
last week.
Thursday. I did
You
well.
did well the last 2 rounds.
Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Nobody's threatening your life anymore?
No, it's good.
That's good. Bonus.
Jamie Dornan from 50 Shades of Grey Tuesday night. Rob Lowe later in the week. And, yeah, watch.
What about we should have had our cousin Jimmy should have had an Oscars prop with
Oh, right.
number of Trump tweets during the Oscars and Tom Brady
Yeah.
touchdowns during the Super Bowl would be
That's
interesting.
pretty good.
Would Trump 2.5 tweets during the
Like, what would the odds
Oscars?
be on how many Trump jokes in the first 5 minutes of the Oscar? Like,
Oh, for
for
Jimmy?
Jimmy?
Yeah.
A couple.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, right?
Well,
What are they
we
gonna do
don't
now?
know what the world's going to look like 3
It's
3
so
weeks
long-
from now.
such a long time from now.
Jimmy might have drawn the short straw of Oscars hosting duties, or maybe he's the right guy at the right time.
Could be great.
It's definitely a swing or miss Oscars gig, though.
It could
Holy
be great.
shit.
It'll only be remembered by the halftime show. So, the Oscars.
Well,
This has been a lot of fun.
this has
Oh,
been
yeah?
great.
Yeah, I
Hold
like
on,
that.
Mike
before
only
we
checked,
go.
he only checked his phone 7 times. So
I was
think
looking up.
this is a
I was trying to
success.
look up whether Gary Russell was a pop culture reference that I didn't know.
Gary Russell. He was playing sax when Springsteen, during the Springsteen Super Bowl. Thanks to Books. Remember, Valentine's Day is right around the corner. You're running out of time for a good gift. Books has you covered with a wide array of farm to table and artisan flower bouquets at an accessible price. Tate, do you know what farm to table is? Yeah, okay. And now you can save 20% when you order early, which you should do because, again, Valentine's Day coming up very soon. Don't wait. Go to Books.com and get 20% off your order using offer code BILL, BOUQS.com, offer code BILL. Thanks to the blacktux.com. They'll help you create your look or choose from tons of stylish selected outfits starting at just $95. They've even outfitted one Tate Frazier, the future CEO of The Ringer. After ordering, your suit will arrive 14 days before your event. Try it on, make sure everything fits. If it's less than perfect, the Black Tux will send you a free replacement right away. To get started now, visit theblacktux.com/BS and experience a new way to rent. Again, theblacktux.com/BS. Thanks to SeatGeek, our presenting sponsor. Don't forget to use SeatGeek for the Super Bowl if you need tickets. They are happy to help you, and they have an awesome grading chart. Thanks to Blue Apron. Thanks to the Ringer NFL show, where we will find Lombardi middle of the week with Mays.
Yes.
You're nerded up, little football nerd action.
Absolutely.
That's happening Wednesday, and then the Cuz will be here next week.
Yes,
I'll either be very
Monday.
happy or very sad.
I get very sad. I do. I like 4 different points of the year. I get sad when my fantasy team is eliminated.
Yeah.
When my Cowboys are eliminated. When we get down to the Final Four and you
when
can't
Jason
make
Garrett wins Coach of the Year.
Right.
that I don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
and then at the end of the year. Yeah.
I was sad yesterday. It was the first football Sunday without football
watch
in like
Pro
what
Bowl.
22.
Right.
I can't watch the Pro Bowl.
It's a lot.
I can't do
No,
it.
no
The
chance.
Cuz, thank you, Mike Lombardi. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
and
It's
welcome
been a pleasure
again.
to be
Welcome
here.
aboard to the Ringer.
Lombardi, I'm
Excited.
betting this prop for you. I'm putting
Thank you.
$50 for Lombardi.
I'm
on
also
Albert
chipping in
Robinson.
50. Good job by you, son.
Good job by you.